to attend this very important meeting. Your Excellency, as you can see before you are distinguished senators, past and current. This meeting, as you can see, has, from the paper before you, Your Excellency, we have a total of 76 non-serving senators that have endorsed your candidature and pledged their commitment. What is even more interesting is all these 76 senators, I took my time and contacted each and every one of these 76 senators. One, to ask for their support and commitment. In other words, their endorsement. What is very interesting here is the level of support or kind words that these distinguished senators pledged is remarkable. The reason why I took my time to contact these 76 senators personally is because I think it's very important to hear from the distinguished senators one-on-one their position. This is because we are trying to avoid a situation where someone will wake up tomorrow and say he was not contacted, that he has seen his name, but he was not contacted. So I'm happy to say that you have 76 distinguished senators that have committed to this cause. With these distinguished senators, I would like to welcome you once again, and also to welcome our ladies and gentlemen of the press. This meeting is convened in furtherance of our group, APC non-serving senators of the 2nd to the 4th Republic's endorsement of Senator Godswill Akpabio and Senator Jibrin as Senate President and Deputy Senate President of the 10th Senate. As partners in this campaign, and more especially past senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, we are proud that our position, vision, and objective with respect to the nature, type, and structure of the leadership of the 10th Senate has been vindicated. As we are all aware, the APC National Working Committee has endorsed the candidature and aspiration of Senator Godswill Akpabio as Senate President and Senator Jibrin as Deputy Senate President. As politicians and beneficiaries of Nigeria's democracy, we believe that the continued consolidation of Nigeria's political maturity can only be sustained through peace, stability, unity, and progress of the constituents that make up the entire country. Our support for the candidature of Senator Godswill Akpabio from the South as Senate President and Senator Jibrin from the North as Deputy Senate President indeed is to strike the needed political balance, ethnicity, and religious diversity of Nigeria as one indivisible nation. As critical stakeholders, we assure the leadership of the APC, the President-elect, the Vice President-elect, Senator Godswill Akpabio, and Senator Jibrin of our unflinching commitment and support towards the actualization of this objective. We therefore respectfully once again appeal to other aspirants to step down their ambition in the interest of national unity, peace, national stability of Nigeria, and party cohesion. We believe strongly Senator Akpabio and Senator Jibrin at the helm of affairs in the 10th Assembly will further complement the administration of distinguished Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Senator Kashim Shettima in delivering good governance and democratic dividends to all Nigerians. I thank you all for your time. Senator.
Thank you, sir.
Tremendous experience in the issues of how National Assembly leadership evolves, because I was national chairman of a ruling party, and I know the rigors that go on when these things are about to take place. Today, I'd like to commend the All Progressives Congress and the President-elect, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for the decision they have taken to endorse these two gentlemen for presiding officer's position of the Senate of the Federal Republic in the 10th Senate. I say this because it's a very well thought out issue. Many people do not understand the workings of government. And if you have applied yourself in government long enough, you know, as we have, many of us becoming elder statesmen already, we need to be a stabilizing factor in our political affairs. The APC had a problem in the 8th Senate when it endorsed certain candidates and other candidates emerged. And that was a job that was not well done. We do not want to see that kind of issue repeat itself in this country, and especially at a time when we are all geared towards improving on the issues of governance because of the numerous problems that exist in this country today. There are precisely 7 presiding officers in government, and these are in the area of the political party that puts out the government in the person of the national chairman, in the president and the vice president who are elected. And the other 4 presiding officers are in the National Assembly, Senate President and his deputy, Speaker and his deputy. We have tried to zone positions in Nigeria in such a way that we can elicit stability, fairness, and justice. And today, before the National Assembly is actually inaugurated, we already have 3 presiding officers in our government. The National Chairman, Senator Abdullahi Adamu from North Central, the President-elect, Ahmed Tinubu from Southwest, and the Vice President-elect, Kashim Shettima from the Northeast. In terms of our geopolitical zonings, we have 3 zones left. And the party, in its wisdom, went ahead and allocated the Senate presidency to the South-South. That is one of the zones that has no presiding officer yet. And the Deputy Senate President to the Northwest. That is also a zone that has not yet got a presiding office. That makes it 5 so far. And if there is any zone that hasn't got a presiding office, the House of Representatives is there, and I'm sure they will be remembered when it comes to the zoning in that house. Even if the party itself is unable to consummate a proper zoning, as we hear that so many people have put billboards in the city, I'm sure the members themselves will be wise enough to ensure that a zone that was not yet endowed with the presiding office has one when it comes to the issue of Speaker and Deputy Speaker. On behalf of the non-serving senators, we are fully in agreement with our party and fully endorse the position of our president-elect. That is why we are here. And we are supporting Senator Akpabio and Senator Jibrin 100% for this position. We may not have casting votes as non-serving senators, but we have great influence by which casting votes can be geared towards these candidates. And we are here to assure you, Akpabio and Jibrin, that your colleagues know your talents, they know your capacity, they know your capabilities, and they are fully in agreement with our party and our president-elect that when the National Assembly, 10th National Assembly is inaugurated, you will be the Senate President with your deputy seated with us. Thank you very much indeed, and God bless all of you.
But to be very honest, I think, finally, let me say that we are not, I tell you, I was going to call you and tell you, we have a program. That program is not about money during appropriation, because I know my deputy Senate President designate is chairman of appropriation currently, so he couldn't have spoken without talking about appropriating. That was why he said that permanent secretaries have appropriation. So you should have appropriation. But I think we have to discuss that again. Am I right? Yeah. But the one I know is that all the committees of the Senate ought to be enriched with your various experiences through consultancy. Did you get that? Sure. That all the committees of the Senate ought to be enriched through consultancy arrangement.
Yes, non-senators.
Of non-serving senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Well guided, well guided.
So that you guide us,
Exactly.
not just in terms of procedure, but also in terms of the lawmaking and in terms of the output. Because we have issues of the economy, issues of insecurity, issues of indebtedness. We must do everything possible to create a future for young Nigerians. Because all these things we are talking about, they revolve around what Professor Yade said. If somebody comes out of work or comes out of school and has a state of hopelessness, that person is capable of going into banditry. Yes, if somebody comes out of school and has no avenue to put 3 square meals on the table for even the parents who suffer to send the person to school. So we must do deliberate efforts. We must support the next administration of incoming President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And what endeared me to him is still what I look forward to. When he took over as governor of Lagos State in 1999, the IGR of Lagos State was 600 million. By the time he put the policies in place, today they are making over 69 billion a month. They don't need to go to the federal government cap in hand or a plate in hand to look for federal allocation. This country can generate its own revenue. We can pay all the debts we are owing, and we can assist the West African countries. Because as governor of Akpabio said, I had a policy of free education, and I made it compulsory for all Nigerian children resident in my state. And one day somebody asked me, how are you spending so much money for non-indigens? I said, don't call them non-indigens. If you spend a lot of money for your children, and you don't look at your neighbor's children, you are preparing armed robbers to attack your graduate children in future. We must be our brother's keeper. We must look at other West African countries. Nigeria must be an example to other African countries. But if Nigeria is doing well, Africa will do well.
Well said. This guy is waiting. What do you tell?